You said that, you're crazy.
All the information on my banners is on here. You can look it up. Go ahead. Won't hurt you.
It won't hurt.
If you like that, Brian. You can look it up. Do you get one? Okay. You can look it up.
Thank you.
All the information on the banners is on the card. You can look it up.
She can be thick with 4 C's. She can be thick.
You can look it up yourself.
You like that, you know?
Sure. Another one? That's 3 for you. What are you doing here? Come on. I know you.
Which is a lot more people.
Everybody get one of these?
I did not.
Okay. Thank you.
I've got a couple of.
Because you don't know what control means. I know, and I'm not saying you're a child. I'm just saying that you're not old enough. Today I'm 63.
Okay.
Okay, and I've lived through a life. I've been through the court system. I've been through a lot of crap. And it's all unnecessary, and they can control all of that.
Right, but they would have to literally get every single government on Earth to go in on something.
They
like
all
this.
signed the freaking Antarctic Treaty.
That
Look
doesn't
into
mean
that.
anything.
It does mean that we don't have a world enemy.
Programs.
We do not have a world enemy. And did you know all the space programs are all the same? Did you know that?
I have a couple.
They all have the vector. Look at the symbol is the vector, the snake tongue. Yes, they do.
Okay.
Look at that.
But still,
about the sun and the moon.
Anything.
So with the diagram that you have there,
space program on Earth
just look at it.
the diagram you have there where they go around, what happens during the solar eclipse? What causes that phenomenon?
Well, okay, the only thing I can say about eclipses is in ancient writings, there's other orbs up there. There are things that we don't see. Did you see the last eclipse?
I did, yes.
Okay,
I actually
did
went
you see
down
the
to
ground?
see it in totality.
Oh, good. Did you see the ground? But maybe you couldn't see it.
Oh, the crescents that get projected?
Yes.
Yep.
So where did they all come from? That was weird.
They were projected from the
from the light. So there's things that we don't know. I can't give you a definitive answer on everything.
Okay, I have another question about the moon.
That's the disclosure right there. That's pretty much what you're saying. That
well, listen. So NASA just makes up something, and that's acceptable to you.
That they make it up. Oh, you don't. But I think it's.
I know one thing. I know one thing. That the ground is flat. I know that.
Hell yeah!
So can you explain the logic? Stretch it out over however much surface is on the area. There is some curvature.
You have to look at
You're
it.
on the beach and you look out in the ocean. You can't see the other side. Yeah. Why?
I already explained, because of the fog.
Oh yeah, she said, oh yeah, when you're driving on a foggy night and you can't see too far ahead of you. No, that's bullshit.
That's right, you look into it.
Yeah, but when the moon sets...
You're very pretty. Did you get one? Here, would you like one? Would you like one? Here, would you like one? You can look this up yourself. Hello? He's... thank you. Somebody have an intelligent question?
So how is the Earth flat?
Yeah, but what
okay, so
The thing is, it isn't.
we have a curvature formula. There has to be a curvature formula. Forever how far out you go, it has to drop. Okay? The curvature formula is right here. Sure. Why, did somebody take it? There, let me smack him.
It's longer. What you mean?
Snubbling back in that bitch.
So...
Oh, thank you.
So when I'm in Wildwood, I should not see Atlantic City 32.6 miles away.
Because
right there.
You can't see past
They're on the banners. You'll see Chicago across Lake Michigan, 60 miles away. That should be under 1,700 feet.
What about the travel by boat, not just by sight?
Do you see the streets of Chicago, or do you see the tops
My dad
of
was
the
a pilot, and I dated a guy who owned an airport. Yeah, I've flown a lot. And you know what? You know what I saw? The horizon is always at your eye level. No matter how high you go, it always comes up with you. It never goes down. Anywhere you stand on this globe, it should go down, and it doesn't. And we have the formula that shows you how far you should be able to see. So figure that one out. You tell me about it.
What's your stance on one with there?
They apparently doesn't exist.
No, we don't believe that there's anything pulling us to the center of a false globe. We think
Can I see that for a second?
I personally think it's diamagnetism pushing us down. I do agree that things fall at a certain rate, but it's not a pull, it's a
If there
push.
wasn't gravity, then
We
this
live in a
wouldn't
torus
be
field.
here.
I think you need to take a look at the scientists who look at the Earth, who look at the planet.
And I think you need to know that they're all being paid.
So why are we being taught in school?
But you figure that out. When you can figure that out, you'll know something.
What about the churches that tried to censor those scientists?
That's what you're being told, isn't it?
That's what I learned.
Yeah,
Even
well, first
first
off, you tell me if the Earth is flat or if it's a globe, then you figure out the rest. You figure it out.
think the Earth is flat?
Absolutely. There's a curvature formula.
Okay.
Did you get one of these?
No, but
I'll take one.
Actually, I'm gonna take one.
Yeah, go ahead. Laugh at it. I don't care. Because the truth will set you free.
Yeah, I would actually like one.
The truth, you look at it, if you study this, you'll be smarter even if you don't accept it. Sure.
So even if, say if this is even true, what does this accomplish? Like, why are you trying to get kids?
Well, in order to believe in a spinning globe, you have to deny your senses.
Why do I have to believe in a spinning globe? Why do I have to believe in a flat globe? Why do I have to believe in that?
Why do you have to believe in this? Because
No, why do I have to believe in either?
okay, well, this is what we're being taught.
Yeah, I get it, but why does it matter?
So I'm against what we're being taught in the schools, which is a lie.
Teach us some bullshit.
Because you have to deny your senses in order to believe this.
How would it
So you're denying yourself.
Go look back at some of the scientists.
She doesn't like to talk to me.
That's fine. No, because you don't stick to one thing. You're like all over the place.
Because everything's tied together.
Walk away.
So let's go to each point and spend a solid.
See?
Theoretically.
This is why. Just calm down, will you?
So by your standard,
No, I'm not pissed.
we're denying our senses when we think that there is a round Earth. Like we're denying something. that
This is a
exists there.
spinning ball.
What does it benefit?
But that's
Come here, let me show you something. Here, look at this. See this? You know what this is?
Yes.
What is it?
Titled it Star Trails.
Okay, there's Polaris in the middle.
Okay.
You can hold your camera there, open the aperture. You know, in the olden days when we had apertures.
Okay.
So you hold that open, and you get star trails because it's spinning, turning around on top of us. This is what they teach in the schools.
Okay.
Okay, the Milky Way's moving, the sun's moving, all the planets are trying to catch up to it. That's like, that blue spiral. You think we'd get this? I don't. You can agree with that if you want. You can say whatever you want. I'm not telling you what to say, but I don't believe it.
Oh, my only question, ma'am. My only question is, why does it matter? Like,
Why does it matter?
Okay. Why do you want to go?
If you believe lies, all right,
Yeah.
is that going to affect you in your life? Okay, someday you're going to get married and you're going to have kids. Do you want to know that those kids are yours?
Sure, but I don't think my reality of
Does that make sense? I don't like lies. Lies are destructive.
Right.
Lies cheat and corruption makes people miserable. I don't want that in my life. I don't want it in my government. I don't want it in my schools. Do you understand that?
So the Earth being round or flat.
Every time I look at you, you talk. Stop.
So the Earth essentially being round or flat ruins ruins your life. Like
You got one?
Yeah,
Yeah, it does. Lies ruin your life. They do.
what if you went on your whole life not even understanding that?
Okay, first off, if you look at this and you say, you know what, the Earth might be flat. You know what?
Yeah.
And then
Okay.
you'll think,
Yeah.
well, if they could lie to me about this, then they could lie about everything.
But what if they already are lying?
They are.
So, like, I mean, what does it change?
What does it change? If you don't care about it, then it doesn't change anything in your life.
That's what I'm saying. Like, why?
That's right. It doesn't change anything, so just forget it.
I have a question. So, I'm guessing that accepting all this, we're going to assume that the moon landing didn't happen?
Did not.
So if I take a precision laser, I can actually point it up to a very specific location on what appears to be the moon. And if I point it anywhere else, the light will just scatter and I won't be able to pick up anything.
If you look up, there's a fake imagery.
But if I project it to a very specific location where NASA claims that they put a reflective disc, I can actually get a laser to bounce back. So what is that situation that's happening?
I don't think they did that. There may be something in the moon itself that they found that reflects back. But I don't believe we ever landed there and put a anything there.
Okay. So you think it's
So it's a different. Did you get one of these? Okay. So look, I'm just presenting you a whole different thing. You have to figure it out for yourself what's true.
What about the International Space Station? Does that not exist either?
No. This is it. When they're in the ISS, they have either their vomit comet or they have wires and harnesses, okay? But when they're outside, they're doing it in the... they're doing it in the pool. We have bubbles in space. When you start looking into this, type in YouTube, type in flat Earth, and you'll start getting a whole different set of videos.
But if I have a telescope, I can see light in the sky where they claim the International Space Station is.
You see a light?
Yes.
Could it be a U-2 plane?
It could, but they'd have to fly it 24/7.
Well, or else they'll put it up there on the website when they're going to go past.
No, they have
A lot of times it's cloudy and nobody can see it anyway.
That's a good point.
So if it's flat, how long does that go out?
Okay, the equator's 24,901. So between the North Pole... Oh, wait a minute. So now if the equator's 24,901, I don't know how wide it would be.
They just keep going on
If you, I know, wait a minute. Captain Cook, he logged in 60,000 miles. Now, some people say it was a little bit more than that. But if Captain Cook went 60,000 miles across here, what's 60,000? What's the diameter of that? Divided by pi, right? 60,000 divided by pi.
60,000 miles around what?
Around the Antarctica.
Did he claim to find an edge, or is that just as far as he went?
No, that's Antarctica.
Okay.
But Admiral Byrd explored beyond the edge.
So how far does Antarctica go out? Could that just be infinite? Keep going?
It's too cold, we can't travel there.
I don't know that.
No way of proving it.
That's what I can't tell you beyond Antarctica's coastline. I can't tell you any more than that. You have to figure these things out for yourself. What?
How do you know that it just doesn't keep on going and the Earth is
It might.
forever?
Some people actually think that. I don't. I think there's a dome.
And the only livable spot is like the center of the circle, right?
I think there's a dome, and then it ends at the dome. Okay.
That's the dome.
Everybody get one of these? Sure.
She doesn't believe that.
So did you get one of these?
I think she believes that is here, but not space.
I don't know. There is no outer space. I don't think there is.
So what are the stars in?
Points of light.
Okay.
Points of light.
That's right.
And they're fixed. If you look into these experiments here, this proves that the Earth is stationary and the stars actually move above us. That's how we get the star trails. Look into that.
Where is it?
Yeah, that's right off NASA website. Look it up yourself.
Oh, sorry about that.
Yes, you did.
Did you get one?
Yes, he did.
Oh, I don't know.
You want another one?
Yeah,
Okay.
Thank you.
Did you give it to him?
No, I never got one.
Here, swear.
Came in later.
All right. Look into this, guys. Really. Look into that.
Why would people lie?
Why would the government lie to the people?
Yeah, that's
okay. Okay, you want... All right, did you know that the kings never let the serfs read? Did you know that? Why? And educated people are hard to control. The masters never let the slaves read either, because uneducated people are hard to control. That's all about control. Thank you, darling. It's about control. And you guys haven't felt that yet because you haven't been like in the world paying the taxes and dealing with all that crap.
Yeah,
it's a lot.
Brainwaves in my head.
And I know it's going to hurt.
How come the sun set if you constantly take a picture?
Here, you can know what... Oh, did you? Good.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, it's not going to hurt you to get the education. Did everybody get one?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Everybody get one? Here, guys. This is what we're... No, you can look it all up on the website on the back. It's all the same stuff. Yeah, well, we have this website. I'm on here, and there's a bunch of other people on here. We've, you can see, we've been down to Ocean City. We've been to Temple. We've been to Penn State, Abington. I go all over.
Do you have any like group meetups or anything like that?
Yeah, we do. Yeah. Would you be interested in coming?
I have a couple friends who would probably be interested in that.
Awesome. On my Facebook page, Flat Earth PA, I post them there.
When was your last one and where was it?
Well, all through the summer we've been doing this activism instead of like sitting down at a restaurant. When we can get out and go do something, we'll do that instead. So that's what we've been doing. But like in the winter time, December through February or something, we'll have a restaurant meetup. Maybe in Quakertown. That's where we've been going.
Cool. Yeah, it's cool that you're coming out here and doing this.
Thank you. What's your name?
My name is Brett.
Brett, Maryland. Nice to meet you.
How do you deal with like the? Like, I know some people are like, yeah, that's so cool, and some people are like, I don't want
because you have to understand that I was there too once. Okay, I was uneducated or uninformed at one time too. So I have to understand that they're not really mocking me; they're mocking the idea. So I have to love them more.
That's so cool. You're an awesome person.
Thank you. And it's hard sometimes. It's really hard, but we gotta love them. Thank you, dear.
You right, Jenny? You right?
Everybody get a card? Did you get a card, guys? Sure. Yeah, here. Take your own. Take your own. Yeah.
Why is it not day everywhere?
Great question.
Yes, sir.
If the Earth's flat, why isn't it day all the time? Because there's still part of it that's not.
Because light can only travel so far. I think that there's some things with the speed of light that has to be looked into again. See this? When we come into this, there's going to be some things that might have to change.
All right.
Okay. They are telling us that it's 93 million miles away and it's like 400 times bigger than the Earth.
That's what I've been talking
yeah, me too.
Okay.
But you know, if it's smaller and it's like 9.3 miles above the surface, now that's a whole different subject, isn't it?
What's the diameter of the sun?
Well, some people, yeah, I can't guess at that.
It's pretty small.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's bright, but it's small. And there's a difference between the sun and light.
Yeah.
Okay, because of the dome. Now, I know you don't know about it. There is a dome, actually.
There's what?
If you look up lightning sprites.
Lightning sprites.
Okay, they come off the dome. Did you get one of these?
Yeah.
Okay, so lightning sprites come off the dome. Okay. And you'll see that.
Is it like a dome surrounding the Earth?
Yes, it's like an upside down salad bowl right on top of here.
Okay. So
as far as we know, that's what it is. It goes down in Antarctica somewhere.
So you can go down to Antarctica.
Which they don't let you do anymore.
So there's the ice.
Yeah.
And at some point there's a dome.
At some point there's the edge of the dome. That's what we are saying. We think Admiral Byrd found that in the 50s. And that's when they quickly came up with the Antarctic Treaty and had 53 countries sign on to that.
I've heard a number of different things
and keep people away. Oh.
See, because I've got people telling me the Nazis went down there and he found them.
Yeah, they had a base or something there.
I've heard that one.
Yeah.
I've heard
I only teach
to
the edge of Antarctica because I really don't know what's beyond there.
Yeah, I'm not convinced the Nazis made it, to be honest.
Yeah?
I don't think their situation was ever viable to get all the way down.
Well, guess who was the first board of NASA?
That was
Werner von Braun from the Nazis.
Yeah, we picked him up.
Yeah. Well, actually, it was Operation Paperclip where we brought a bunch of scientists over here because I think they were really on to something.
You think?
Yeah. And also...
Gotta beat the Soviets to it?
No. Ever since the Antarctic Treaty, there has never been a legitimate war. I know that for a fact. Did you get one of these, honey?
Yeah, I actually had a question.
Okay.
I've been thinking about like the things and stuff, and I was wondering, are the other planets like flat too?
The reason that you ask about other planets is because you believe in the Big Bang. The Big Bang sent all this material out there and it started spinning, and then the friction made them all into balls, right?
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know anything about the Big Bang.
There he goes again. I should never look at him. He starts talking. I don't know.
Every time you tell me
Every time.
Just trying to like debate religion. Right,
So
it's going nowhere.
So yeah, we don't think there's like other planets like terra firma. They're not like ground. It's just a light, a fixed light in the sky. Because when you look at a telescope, all you can see is two-dimensional. You can't see the back.
Yeah.
So we don't really know that, and so I don't really talk about the planets. That's all I say.
Yeah, that's understandable.
I mean, really.
Yeah, thank you so much. Wait, the planets aren't real?
Well, it goes around. It goes around. Now we have videos from people all over the world. Okay, I almost did. You're right.
Well, the sun
it's
is
a habit.
bright, and wherever
she's an ass.
Wherever
So anyway,
there's surface exposed, even if the sun, I'm tipping my finger to the sun, even if it was going around here, all points of the Earth would experience
it's local.
at least some brightness.
It's a local. It's a local light, and it's very small and it's very close. So somebody here, that's what that's my guess.
Travel higher than, wait,
that's my guess. Okay, so you want to see some videos? We have a video of an airplane that took a picture of the sun in the clouds. From above the clouds. You start looking into flat Earth videos, and you're going to see a whole lot of other stuff. Did you get a card, sir? Did you get a card?
Yeah. If I took a picture of the sun.
Did you get one?
Wait, are you talking about the sun?
I will come back.
Yeah, she said it's only 9.
If you get somebody to sponsor me, I will come back and be inside.
I have some affiliations. I can.
Okay. Anytime. You can contact me through the website.
I mean, I like the sun and all, but like, I don't get it. So when it's nighttime and the world is flat, how is the sun like?
You can't see because of like the water in the atmosphere.
Only 9.3 miles up, and I guess
it only goes so far. Even looking straight down, you can only see 1,000 feet if you look straight down into a clear ocean.
So like,
because it
let me
occludes.
Make a point, and then you guys can talk about that. This is crucial. Come on, I've been trying to.
Do you
get
know
this
this guy? Get rid of him.
If the sun is only 9.3 miles up, right? All right, so say you take a picture of it, right? And you measure it from the picture. And then you travel like as high as you can up and you take a picture of it again. It would be huge, but in reality, that picture would only be a tiny bit bigger.
The second video on this web link.
You know why? Because it's very, very far.
The second video is called Time Lapse of the Sun. Watch that one, and you'll see.
All I can tell you is the sun is not 9.3 miles up. That's a fact.
You will see.
The sun is not 9.3 miles up.
The sun will shrink.
We could travel like at least a couple miles up, and the sun is still the same size. It doesn't get any closer. It gets a couple miles closer. But not like
the U2 plane. U2 planes. Did you get one of these? Come on, look it up. A true scientist cannot reject evidence.
If they were out here, I would be going. Optical illusion. So you're saying the Earth is flat, correct?
Turn it over.
Okay, sure. We'll say this is the Earth, okay?
Yeah.
So obviously we have a moon, which is encircling the So if the Earth is flat, say we're standing on it like this.
How come the
moon would have to be above us, correct?
The what would?
The moon would have to be above us.
Right.
To be able to see it,
right?
So my question is that during a lunar eclipse, when the Earth casts a shadow on the moon, it can cast a sphere. It's a circular shadow. Despite the moon being in different positions around the Earth, it always casts a circular shadow. How is that possible if the Earth is flat?
Okay. Well, first off, we don't think that the Earth ever gets in between the sun and the moon. All right? There's another. All right, just wait. Wait. So we have the moon and the sun coming around here. Okay? So in ancient writings, there are things called other heavenly bodies. They were named Rahu and Ketu, and there might be more, I don't know. Okay, and I know you don't believe this, and that's okay. But we think that another heavenly body gets in front of that. Now, I'm going to give you one other explanation here. They say there's a red spot on Jupiter. Okay? And they say that because that red spot goes from the left to the right, that proves that Jupiter is rotating. I don't think so. I've talked to 2 astronomers. Okay. And they say that's how they say it's orbiting or rotating. And I say that it's a red translucent orb just moving from the left to the right.
But my point, you use divine intervention to counter my point. That's not, you're calling yourself a scientist, you can't point to divine intervention.
Well, you don't have the scientific evidence to say that the Earth is in between the sun and the moon.
Yes, I do.
No, because there's the sun and the moon are up in view at the same time.
Wait, what are asteroids?
So
how far is the moon from us?
About the same distance, but not exactly.
So they're like rotating like this?
Yeah, but did you know the moon crosses the equator 26 times a year? Or 24? Yeah, we just figured that out.
Okay, so the equator on your asteroids come from?
Apparently they don't exist because
I don't know that they do.
So
I don't know that.
The equator on the flat map is about the same as it is.
Yes.
Right? And the sun's above that and your orbit's around.
Yes, and it goes from Now Capricorn would be much bigger.
Okay, yeah.
And Cancer a little smaller.
Yeah, it'd be a smaller circle.
Yeah.
Inside. Okay.
Yeah. Did you ever see Capricorn 1, that movie?
No.
Look that one up. Look that, I just bought it because I wanted to see it. It shows how they snuck the astronauts out.
Okay.
How long have you been
It's awesome. I started studying flat Earth 2.5 years
ago. When did you gain your suspicions?
2.5 years ago.
What kind of tipped you off?
Did you get a card?
What made you,
2.5 years ago, and I said, this is crazy. And then I looked into it, and I couldn't sleep for a couple weeks.
Listen, there are so many points, but there's at least
then you have to deal with that, hon.
Each and every
you have to deal with
That's
that.
why it cannot be proven.
Well, I can prove NASA's a lie.
Oh yeah, there's no.
Wait, so you're telling me if you walk all the way?
Yeah, the government does lie to us all the time. But why would they lie to something about
something so small and insignificant?
Control.
No.
It's about control. They want us.
It would be insignificant to our lives. This doesn't concern anyone.
Big whoop here.
Yeah, the government lies about.
Well, when you get older, and I'm not saying you're kids, but when you get older out in the world and you have to deal with some of the crap out there, and it really affects your life, then you'll say they're lying to me.
Yeah, tons of things.
Yeah.
What? Why? Why would it matter if they're lying to us or not?
You don't want that? You can keep it.
We're all just like living in.
Oh, very good.
My ex-girlfriend wasn't flat. I'll give you that.
So anybody else have some questions? Really, it's okay. We can talk about it. Hey there. Are you police or
I already saw that.
you're security?
I'm a security guard.
Okay. Did everybody get one? You can have your own personal card. Yeah.
Wait, do you believe in the Earth is flat? Do you believe that the Earth is flat?
Hello, ma'am. Would you like one of the cards? This is what we're talking about. Thank you. You're welcome.
I believe it's round.
Thank you.
Like a pizza. Yeah. Like a pizza.
Like
you
pizza.
said the Earth has like a basket. Lots of cheese.
She said, there's like a picture or something of like here.
Yeah.
All right, yo. So all these organizations, the United Nations, World Health, ICAO, WMO, and IMO, all in their files, this is the map that they have. It's a flat, and it's Earth. It proves it. You know what? Why would they carry around a globe in their like binders and backpacks and whatnot?
No, there's different maps. There's different maps. You've seen flat maps of the globe.
Yeah, but it's all like
yeah, but they leave off Antarctica. Why'd they do that?
Wait, you're saying Earth is flat, but why is the globe in your
Because it's for demonstration.
All these nations are the ones that
whenever you stand on the globe, if you go out, it drops. So we have a formula for that, which is on the back of your card there. That's the formula, curvature formula. So you have to find curvature somewhere. You go to Wildwood next time you're going on a wild trip with your friends, and look and see if you can't see Atlantic City, which is 32.6 miles away. And then you say, how can I see Atlantic City when it should be hidden under 681 feet? That's a 68-story building. So you figure that out. And then ask yourself, what's going on?
She got me stumped. I'm stumped now.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
Alright, we gotta go to North Pole. We'll come back to that one.
Well, I think there is some stuff going on down there because you know what? They go down. Senator John Kerry went down there and they had a religious ceremony. They're doing religious ceremonies down there. What are they doing? I want to know.
I wouldn't know what religion goes to Antarctica, you know.
He's videotaping me. I am too. I'm videotaping him.
Yeah, with the phone. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't know what religion does stuff in Antarctica. But like, I've never been part of an Antarctic religion.
Right? Yeah.
So yeah, what?
So there's something going on in the Antarctic.
There is, and I don't know. You know what? They're talking about. I personally don't want to go there because I don't think I'd ever come back.
Yeah, I mean, obviously nobody wants to be the first to walk.
They killed a couple people already down there.
I get that. So if there's like a government conspiracy.
Yeah, they're hiding it for some reason, and there's talk of giant skeletons and stuff. I don't know. I don't know.
You say the Earth is flat. Is there any width to Earth then?
Well, we dug a hole 8 feet deep, and that's as far as we know.
8 feet deep?
I mean, not feet, I'm sorry, 8 miles. 8 miles. Yeah, that's dumb. 8 miles deep is the farthest we dug.
Yeah, they did that in the mine in Russia, right?
Something like that. But then in Siberia, there's Lake Baikal, which is 400 miles of flat.
So we don't believe in science, but we believe in math?
You don't believe anything. You test it, and you get...
We still need math and science to test it?
Look. Yeah. Consistent, observable, testable, predictable. Yeah, that's the scientific method. You have to apply the scientific method to everything you do. Don't just believe somebody in a lab coat. Really, you got to test it yourself. Know it for yourself. Yeah, know it yourself.
Let's do
it.
Wait, if you believe that the Earth is flat, why do you have a circular globe?
For demonstration.
Okay.
And to beat smart aleck kids with.
I understand.
No, but you know, this is curvature. I'm demonstrating curvature. Wherever you go out, you have to go down. And on the back here, it says curvature formula.
That's what she's saying. Yeah.
Or flat as in with features 3-dimensional.
No, there's mountains and
No, there's mountains and valleys. And if you take off all the water, there's a lot more valleys.
So there's mountains, hills, and like.
Now, you know what else? If the Earth is flat, then that kind of makes the world flood a little more logical, doesn't it?
So,
yeah.
Here's a question. Do you believe that any other planet is also flat, or do you believe that Earth is the only one?
Yeah.
Is what? Other planets?
Yeah, when we see them orbiting around, we don't just see one side of it.
Yeah, you
There's
see.
different features,
No,
like Jupiter
what?
and like whatnot.
What? No, the red spot? I already explained the red spot. Did you miss that one? We think there's other orbs up there.
Well, do we not see different sizes of planets that we see?
Nintendo Wii.
And if we don't, why would... Wait, do we not see the different sizes of the planets? Or are they just circles?
No, I think you only see one, and I think...
Wait, so they're just like going like, why would they...
What you're seeing...
Why would they be facing us no matter what?
A lot of it is enhanced. So you don't get to see it, really.
Would you believe it?
No, that point doesn't make sense.
Would you like believe it then? Is that like how the only way you could believe it?
What?
If it was
A spaceship. I would never go in a spaceship. You know why?
Because then you'll be proven wrong.
No.
They're bringing you right to a Hollywood studio.
No, because I would never come back.
Would you fall off the Earth? Damn.
They kill people.
How do you explain GPS?
How do they get money from lying about
How did they
it?
get?
How do you explain that?
Yeah, like, if the government lies to us, why would they lie? None of this.
They would have to get literally every single government in on this.
If they wanted
Not just the Americans.
Look up the Antarctic Treaty.
Space launch, they
The
would at least
Antarctic
make it.
Treaty.
The Antarctic Treaty has nothing to do with
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
How do you explain satellites? It's only to do with
Alright, that's it.
Look up the Antarctic Treaty.
Point number
All the governments in the world, all the governments are in cahoots with each other. All the governments are together. Yep, they are. There's a lot of thinking going on here. I want you to appreciate that, because these kids are really thinking. And it's very important. I think studying this, can I give you one of these, ma'am? I think it's very important that this provokes thought.
How does my phone get GPS?
Ground-based positioning system. Ground, not global.
That's not how it works. You need 3 different points at least. So we actually.
It's all ground-based.
It couldn't be.
Okay, then you look into this. Type in flat Earth first, and it gives you a different video.
It just couldn't be.
I understand what you're saying.
We didn't have that stuff before. We don't have a clear line of sight.
Don't start up here. Start here. Start on the ground.
I'm all right. How do you explain seasons?
Oh, that's easy. The sun is small. It's very close, like 9.3 miles.
Okay.
See? That's okay. That's all right. It takes some people a little bit longer to get rid of their indoctrination.
Do yourself a favor and do some actual hard research, please.
I've been studying this 2.5 years. My dad was a math teacher.
That's so long.
My dad was a math teacher. He flew off aircraft carriers. My son was a physics major.
So he should know about gravity then.
I believe that things fall. I don't believe we're being pulled. I believe we're being pushed by diamagnetism. Diamagnetism in a torus field. Look that up.
So you believe the, ma'am?
You can look it up yourself.
Ma'am, so you believe the Earth is surrounded by an ice wall, correct?
Yeah.
So what gives the idea of a North Pole and a South Pole? Do you not believe in that?
Do you know how a car speaker works?
Yes.
Okay. So the North Pole's in the one pole,
yes,
and the rim is the other pole, and that's how the paper vibrates in between.
So, in theory, do you believe in...
Did you get one?
Do you believe in global warming?
What does that have to do with anything?
No, I'm just the ice wall. I'm just saying, do you believe in global warming? I'm not trying to be smart.
I think that there's cyclical fluctuations.
Fluctuations?
I don't believe that it's all going downhill, all getting warmer.
Let's theorize that the Earth is warming up at a very extreme rate, and that the ice wall is melting. Now,
okay.
Let's just say this is a hypothetical.
It sure is.
Yes.
Okay.
The ice wall is melting because the Earth is getting hotter. So would you say that that since the ice wall's disappearance might affect the water of the Earth, it might fall all out?
No, fall all out. It's going to rise. It's about 300 feet, that ice wall. The Antarctic coast is about 300 feet high.
All right.
Okay, so do that over the whole area of the flat plain.
So you're saying that the ice wall would never melt?
Oh, no, it could.
So I'm just saying.
But I'm saying the water would never spill over. That's
even if the ice wall is
I don't think it's enough.
You don't think it's enough?
I don't think it's enough water. Why don't you calculate it?
So the disappearance of the ice wall will not let all the, I don't know how to explain it.
So are you trying to just figure out how you can mock me on this, or
no,
like the turtle? You know, there's a turtle flying around.
I'm asking a genuine question. I know everyone here is kind of mocking and stuff like
that. No, it's all right. I don't mind, but try to make it a good question.
That's everything we believe, right? That's pretty much the
Hey, I was raised on the heliocentric model myself. I was raised on that.
I guess my question would be like, so what about when they show the Earth up in space and they show it around?
They're telling you CGI. That's computer generated images. They have to listen. Hold it. Did you know they call it image from space? Image.
Yeah.
They have to legally call it that because it's not a picture. Computer generated images.
So gravity, you don't believe it, yes? You think
I believe things fall.
Things
and the rate, but we're not being pulled. We're being pushed. My theory is we're being pushed by the torus field diamagnetism.
Do you know the speed at which we are being pushed?
All things relative on the Earth are the same.
Right.
Now, one of the theories for a flat Earth and why gravity is here is because, like, all right, if you have a big disk of an Earth and everyone's chilling on it, gravity is here because Earth is traveling upwards at
That's
a
the
constant rate.
Flat Earth Society, and that is a controlled opposition. Do you know why Mr. Obama said it 3 times in 3 different speeches? He said Flat Earth Society because he was mocking it, and he wanted everybody to think that that was legitimate, and it's not.
Wait, what?
That is a government-run organization. You have to know how corrupt our government really is.
So who is supporting
the government is very corrupt and it lies, but why would they lie to us about like a matter like this?
Do you have an organization?
Why would this concern any of us? If they was
we don't have an organization. We are all individuals. But that's one of our websites. We also have a conference in November, 10 days from now, or 2 weeks. So, all right.
If someone were to actually provide enough conclusive evidence to disprove your theory, would you be open to it?
Sure.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Would you like a card? Let me get these guys. This is what we're talking about, guys. This is what we're talking about. You're not all right unless you know we're on a flat plane. I just have to say that.
Do the physics work out like the rest of the physics?
Well, yes, but there might be some things that have to be challenged.
Okay.
Maybe the speed of light, maybe some things that would relate to a globe. and not to a flat plane.
I'm just full disclosure. I'm a geologist.
Yeah.
I'm a planetary geophysicist.
Okay.
So I worked for NASA for 2 years.
Yeah.
And I studied Mars and the geology of the rocks on Mars.
Okay, cool.
So, like, I believe that perspective is an issue here. You know, like our perspective in space and time, and looking at things like black holes and neutron stars. I mean, do you guys believe in those phenomena?
I personally just teach what I can see and know here. I think black holes you can find them when you study magnetics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Electromagnetic fields.
Yeah, so I think that's where they kind of got the idea.
But it's like...
But when you study space, there's a whole lot of assumptions that you have to take.
Oh, I totally agree with that.
Yeah. So I kind of reject that, like,
what
area.
about the sun?
Okay, the sun is not 93 million miles away, and it's not a ball of flaming gases.
What's the...
Okay, I'll tell you what I think personally. I think it's diamagnetism instead of gravity. Okay. I think we live inside a torus field. Okay. So the electricity comes up out of the North Pole, and then it comes up and around like a donut.
Yeah.
You have a hole in the middle. Mm-hmm. Okay. It excites the elements in the lower atmosphere. Here. I hate to say atmosphere because it's not a sphere, but atmosphere. And then it comes up and around, hits the dome, and it goes through the filament, which is the sun. I think it's a filament. And the free-flowing electricity up there goes through the sun, which is a filament, and it's a positive charge. Then the moon is like a negative charge. Because they emit two different kinds of light. Did you know that?
Well, yeah, but they're not. They're mirrors or shades of each other. They're based on the same type of energy.
Well...
Because ultimately energy is all the same thing.
Okay.
Whether it's like gamma radiation versus radio waves, like fundamentally energy is moving molecules, and we can prove that like here or in space.
All right, so now you're going beyond what I have studied, so I don't...
Like photonic light energy.
Okay. So I think that the sun's rays are warm and the moon's rays are cold and putrefying. And we have tested that.
What do you mean by that?
Well, if you test the moonlight against the moon shade...
How do you do that?
The moon, we have digital thermometers and we have...
Photometers?
Okay.
The photon energy of the light.
So you test the moon light against the shade at the dark. When it's like a full moon...
But that's the same thing as like reflecting light off a rock and looking at that light that came off the rock. It's not a primary source, it's a secondary photonic source. So
no. If you hold this and you just get the moonlight straight to the recording device, it will be colder in the moonlight than it is in the shade.
Well, because it's lost entropy because of physics.
Okay.
Because you lose energy.
Okay, so you're saying that's true.
Because it's reflecting the sunlight.
Okay, so you're saying it's reflecting sunlight, and we kind of think it doesn't.
What? But you can see it.
We think it has its own light, and you know whether it is or not reflecting.
So now you're saying that the moon produces its own energy? There's nuclear fusion occurring in the moon?
No, well we don't believe that there's nuclear fusion in the sun.
It's just magnetism?
No, it's just electricity going through a filament. Like a light bulb.
So what's the source? What produces the energy in the first place?
The free-flowing electricity from Tesla had discovered.
So it's a Tesla coil?
Possibly. Possibly.
And so the moon and the sun are both Tesla
There is
coils?
free-flowing electricity, you know that, right?
Well, yeah, it comes from the sun and it hits us.
No, it comes from the torus field.
You mean the magnetic field?
You want to hear that?
There's free-flowing, it's electromagnetism. Electromagnetism.
So we're talking about ionized particles in the Earth's core creating a magnetic field around it.
I can't say yes or no to that. All I can say is the torus field is my theory, but it's being studied.
Okay.
So I'm just giving that as a possible explanation for diamagnetism, which is holding us down, not pulling us down like gravity.
Okay.
It's pushing.
Then, well, like, what about if you go to the top of a mountain or the bottom of the ocean or Death Valley even?
Okay.
And where those, so how does that change then during the torus field? Because there's a different, like a visible mass difference, or not mass difference, a weight difference, whether you're like on Mount Everest or at the bottom of the Grand Canyon.
Right.
So how does that magnetic force, because it's not gravity, right? It's diamagnetism?
Do you believe in the ether?
Yeah. Ethos?
Okay. Ether.
Like ether as in...
The ether, as in like theory,
no,
theory of relativity, where Einstein rejected the ether?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's something Aristotle
Okay, well, we believe the ether.
So you believe Aristotle and Plato?
We
the same people who
we believe Tesla. We are Tesla people.
But Tesla built on the properties that, like, the people before him developed. Like, what about Copernicus and Kepler and
I think Tesla was a man with very unique studies. I don't think he's.
Anymore, but I was.
What is this? No, I don't think he's being portrayed as he actually was.
I think I think Edison totally stonewalled him and stole his stuff, and I believe he was
J.P.
silent.
Morgan said, "Where do I put the meter?" Because Tesla wanted to give us free electricity.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think J.P. Morgan, the Rockefellers, they stonewalled.
They're all creeps.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that, and they ruined free energy for people.
Did you ever watch this video down here?
I'm very familiar because I've had students who say to me, "How do I talk to my parents about this or my brother about it?" Because I don't see.
So you're not a flat earther, though.
I'm not.
So then, how can you instruct somebody how to tell them?
I don't. I said that people fundamentally will have a belief system in whatever they do.
Yeah.
I've been all over the world. I've worked for NASA, and yes, it could be a giant hoax. I know. I'm aware. I've talked to people about this. And am I completely, as a scientist, I can say that, is it potential? Is there some giant conspiracy? I mean, there might be. My experience in life and what I know about physics and the way things work here and on Mars, I mean, I've never been there.
But see, you've really kept your head up in the sky. And
not really. No. I'm also religious, and I believe in metaphysics.
Okay.
And I believe in energies and wavelengths.
Did you ever test for curvature anywhere?
Yes.
How did you do that?
Using the angles of the sun and the earth, and using a bunch of the natural ways the Greeks did when I first learned how to do it, out in the field.
What, Eratosthenes or what?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Well, look, if you have the Earth, which is a 24,901 equator, and we have the math down there, you can see how with Pythagorean theorem we came up with a formula of 8 inches times a mile squared. Okay? Yeah. So when I'm in Wildwood, I shouldn't see Atlantic City 32.6 miles away. It should be hidden under 181 feet of curvature.
But you don't take into account light and reflection.
Yeah, it does. Because we have, look, over there we have Chicago, over 60 miles of Lake Michigan, and we can prove that's an actual photograph. There's no light refraction and fraction involved because they got in a speedboat and took 2 hours and went all the way across with their video cameras and nothing changed. So it wasn't that.
But that's the classic thing that the Greeks had an issue with, which is why they believed in a geocentric universe. But it's because of the curvature. With perspective, it's all wrong. Like when you shrink down.
What about perspective?
What'd you say?
What about the perspective?
When you shrink down perspective, the things become less important, which is the parallax. The whole thing they argued with.
Parallax?
Parallax. That thing.
I know. I understand what it is, but what has